Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our What's News SolidWorks 2026 session. So it's great to see so many of you here, engineers, designers, innovators who use SolidWorks every day to bring ideas to life. This year, SolidWorks 2026 focus on speed, collaboration, and smart design tools. You will see improvements in performance, modeling, simulation, and better connection to the 3D experience platform. To give you a quick real-world example, Vermeer, a global equipment manufacturers who use SolidWorks and 3D experience to connect their team design and production. This helps them reduce errors, speed up development, and deliver reliable missions faster. Let us hear from their words.
Vermeer is fully integrated. We take raw steel and we make machine drawings, so we make assembly drawings. We do virtually everything right here on the mile. Vermeer, when I started, was a $300 million company, now a $1 billion company. SolidWorks has grown to the size that we are today. When I started, it would have been 89, and drafting boards were the tool at the time at which we engineering drawings. Then we wanted to get into assembly drawings, and that's when we got into trouble. 2D collapses and falls apart.
We'd have all the parts laid on top of each other, but that was only in one dimension. It's very common to design something up and then find out these parts don't even fit together.
And so how do we move to the next step? And that's when we knew we had to start thinking in 3D. It became, who are we going to team up with to move towards the next one? It became SolidWorks.
SolidWorks was brought on board in 1999. We were the first SolidWorks customer to have over 100 seats of SolidWorks.
The speed, comparing 2D to 3D, there's a huge difference there. We had to do overlays because we could only put 32K in one file.
It didn't require the engineer to have so much imagination about how parts fit together. It made the engineering job so much easier.
When I saw SolidWorks, I was like, this is going to completely change and revolutionize mechanical design.
The ability and the power that has grown with it over the time has really been nice, where before we could pull in a few parts, small assemblies, just because of the hardware limitations. Nowadays, I can pull in an entire machine of thousands of parts, and it runs quite well.
We can model things, we can learn how things fit before we build the physical thing, which really accelerates our time frame.
And that all was about how we communicate the complexity of our machines throughout the organization.
That ability of SolidWorks to bring things older, newer, more quickly, it just continues to accelerate. It allows us to offer repair parts. It allows us to keep designs similar from older and newer things rather than having to do complete start over. We can always use some amount of past data to help us with those future things. And now we're getting into the simulation type things, that confidence that if you have a design, you really understand what the loading's going to do to it, how the parts are going to fit together, you understand how they move together. That really allows you to focus on the actual engineering and designing things. Makes the job continue to be fun.
So that the kind of efficiency and innovation of SolidWorks is bringing to every user. So let's begin our journey into SolidWorks 2026, where innovation meets intelligence. So between 2025 FD01 to 2026 GA, SolidWorks released over 420 enhancements. Let's see these both enhancements in this webinar. This datasheet will be our roadmap today as we walk through what's new in SolidWorks 2026, along with we looking some additional features that you have missed during the 2025 functional release. So let us start with what's new 2026. In 2026, one of the key highlight is selective loading, designed to accelerate design workflows and improve assembly handlings. So with selective loading, engineer can now load only specific parts or subassemblies they need, avoiding the overhead of the full CAD structures. This will dramatically reduce your load time and keep performance high, especially in the complex projects. The next, precision filtering allows users to isolate components based on the properties, maturity states, volumes, helping teams stay focused on most relevant design areas. Next, persistent filter views. So SolidWorks now lets you save and reuse curated component selection to prevent different design variations. So let us see these enhancements in the live. So with the selective loading, if you have any bigger assembly, if you want to work on any certain sub-assembly wise, so you can preserve that sub-assembly and you can save the that view separately. So how we can do this? We can do this one with 3D experience in OVR. So here, if you select any component, it will give the level-wise selection. You can select up to which sub-assembly level you want to preserve. So you can select those components and you can apply this as a separate view. So once you save as a separate view, you can open this view in the SolidWorks and you can work easily with the same view, and you can focusly work on the components. Next is for the precision filtering. So with SolidWorks, from SolidWorks 2026 onwards, you can filter the components based on the different parameters and based on the volume, and you can filter all the components. You can save it as a separate view, and even you can release the maturity state of the particular view, and you can work further. So once this view was assigned, you can open in SolidWorks and you can work easily on the preferred view selection views. And next, what are the filters that we have created? That filter views, you can save it in your 3D experience, and you can work easily with that views, and even you can release your maturity state as per your requirement. Next, highlights with the part enhancements. So let us go through what are the new enhancements in parts. So first enhancement is in the base flange, sheet metal component base flange. So previously, if you want to create any base flange on a preferred sketch, we have to create a plane and we have to create the offset. But from SolidWorks 2026 onwards, you can use the offset sketch plane option. Previously, it is limited to extrude and extrude cut, but from SolidWorks 2026 onwards, you can use the same feature for the sheet metal base flange also. And next, break corner treatment in the sheet metal portion. So SolidWorks 2026 greatly enhanced with the break corners. You no need to select the individual corners every time. So SolidWorks 2026 give the option to collect all the corners. Even you can filter the corners with the internal and external wise also. And next, update in the parts with delete with equations. So previously, if you while creating any sketch, we generally use the equations and other relations of equations and relations. If you delete that sketch, the equations won't delete. It throws the error in our design area. But from SolidWorks 2026 onwards, you can include the delete with equation option while deleting the sketch also. So that if you delete like that, your design is going to be error free. There is no errors thrown in your design in your model. Next, update with the structural systems. So structural systems greatly enhanced by corner treatment. Previously, if you want to apply any corner treatment, you have to visual yourself. But from SolidWorks 2026 onwards, it was greatly enhanced. What are the changes that you made? That changes you can visually, it will visually appear, and you can take the correct decisions by changing the different corner treatments. And next, update with the cut list properties. Now cut list properties was included in the custom property tab also. So what are the cut list properties are there that you can include in the custom properties also, and you can copy the custom properties in your drawing sheet and even in bill of materials also. And next update in the parts is reference points to XYZ coordinates. Previously, if you want to create any point, we have to depend upon any existing geometry. But from SolidWorks 2026 onwards, if you know the coordinates like XYZ, based on that XYZ coordinates, you can add that values, you can create your points. And next update is with the bounding boxes. So previously, from SolidWorks 2026 onwards, you can include the coordinate system also for bounding boxes. So with that inclusion, you can create a correct size of bounding box, even it's a complex shape also. So let us see these enhancements in the live hands-on session. So from here, my colleague, Mr. Sai Kumar, will take care and he will show the hands-on session in SolidWorks 2026.
Thank you, Srinivas. Firstly, good afternoon, everyone. Firstly, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sai Kumar. Powerful part creation and modification we come to expect from the SolidWorks. SolidWorks makes designers work very easy. So now let's see what are the updates that we got in 2026. The first update that we got is base flange. So to show that, I'm just editing this part. So here I'm going to the sheet metal. Here, if you just see the base planes tab, and I'm selecting the sketch. If I select the sketch, here previously we did not find from option. This from option is not there in previous versions. From 2026, here we got this from option. So by giving this offset and by entering some certain value, I'm just giving it as a 20. So you can see with an offset to the sketch, we can create a sheet metal part, or with reference to vertex also, with reference to the vertex point at some point, with reference to this vertex also we can create it. Otherwise, with respect to the surface also, we can just create it. So this is I'm going with the offset. So this is the new update that we got in the base plane option. So previously, if you want to create this kind of thing, we need to create a planes, or we need to do convert it. It's a lot of work and lot of efforts was needed. But within a single step, we are just creating a sheet metal. This is a new update that we got in sheet metal. And the next update is break corners. If we just want to go for the break corners, previously, if you want to create any corner, we need to manually select each and every corner, right? So by selecting each and every corner, it will take a lot of time. So but now the enhancement has clear that by selecting all, here we got new enhancement, that is collect all corners. By just clicking collect all corners, you can just see all the corners has been collected. And even we can select only internal corners. If you just want to enable only internal corners, we can just check on the internal corners. By checking on the internal corners also, we can easily apply the fillets and chamfers with this much ease. So this option helps us to save the more time. So this is the second update that we got. Now let's go to the sketch. The third update. Just I'm trying to edit the sketch. Here, if you just see, some of the dimensions are linked with the equations, right? So if I try to delete the sketch, here we find an error, right? So previously, I'm just undoing it. So if I try to delete the sketch, the reason for that is the equations are linked with the sketch. That's the reason we are getting an error in design tree. But if we want to delete it, the SOLIDWORKS 2026 provides a new option like delete equation. This option is, if we check on this option, we can delete both sketch and equation at the same time. So that this does not cause any errors in the, this does not cause any errors or any changes. This is the third update that we got in SOLIDWORKS 2023. I'm just in SOLIDWORKS 2026. Sorry, and I'm just going to open this part here. So now if you see, the fourth option is we got structure systems. In structure systems, previously we want to visualize a lot, and for corner treatment, it does not have this many features. If you just go here in corner treatment, by clicking on zoom section, each and every corner is represented with the different colors. So if I just go here and zoom in, by selecting this option, we can by the corner treatment. So here we have more corner treatment, right? We can just enter the more corner treatments here. We have a different kind of corner. Compared to the previous versions, the 26 provides more visualization and more, we can use both forward and backward option to create a corner treatment. This is how the corner treatment will be helpful for us. This is the update that we got in corner treatment. And another update is related to the cut list items, cut list properties. Previously in custom properties, just a second. Yeah. So another update is cut list properties. I'm just going to click custom properties here. Previously, if I want to do, in cut list properties, there is no option like we want to enter the cut list option. It was not there in previous versions. Now in custom table, we can just give the cut list items, which is as a description, or we can add whatever the things, the cut list. The main thing is the cut list properties also included in custom properties manager, so that we can add whenever we want, and we can add in PLM also. This is the update that is related to the cut list items. So this is the update that we got cut list item, and I'm just going back to the assembly here and to open that. And our another update is related to the reference point. To explain the reference point, I'm just opening this part here. So if you just here by here we have a display states, right? So by just clicking on here, we already have a 3 points. But here now I want to create one more point. So I'm just going to the reference plane and I'm just clicking on a point. So previously, if you want to create any point, we need to have a reference plane. So now in SolidWorks 2026, we doesn't need any reference geometry. Now by just clicking on this random, by giving random values, by using this different position with numeric values, we can just give, I'm just giving certain value like 28.3. I'm just giving here 17.9. I'm just giving 21.7, a random value. I'm just giving it and I'm just clicking on OK. So without any reference geometry, I am able to create a new point. Even we can create a 3D sketch to certain that point, and even we can just sweep it along the point. So this is a main, this is an update related to the points. We can create a point even without a reference geometry. The next update is related to the bounding box. Previously, we want to create bounding box. Here I'm just creating a bounding box first. So previously, if you want to create any bounding box, we used to check on custom planes. For example, I'm just going with some front plane. Here like this, we have to go. So, but now SolidWorks 2026 has introduced a coordinate system. That means with the help of the coordinate system, we can create a like bounding box. So I'm just sticking on it and I'm just fixing the direction. So here I'm just giving the Y direction. I'm just giving the Z direction, whatever the direction we can give according to our requirement. So here I'm just creating a bounding box. So if you just observe here, the thickness, the length and width of the bounding box is 30 and 33. I'm trying to change the bounding box configuration by going, I'm just shortening it. So even with respect to the model, the bounding box is adjusted and it does not cause any difference. So that is a great effective way. If we just create a bounding box with respect to the coordinate system, we did not find we did not find any errors. This is the updates that we got in parts. Now let's go to presentation.
Yeah, that's the great enhancements in the parts in 2026. With these enhancements, we can do work more faster. Let us look back to 2025. Let us see what are the new enhancements that we got in 2025 in the part level. Okay, first one is edge flange. So, enhancement in the edge flange. So previously, if you want to add a edge flange, we have to define with the length. But from SolidWorks 2025 onwards, so it was introduced with the one more end condition like up to vertex. You can define the up to vertex end condition so that the design is as per your design intent. And second option is including library features. So while you add any feature as a library feature, now you can include the MBD, dim expert dimensions also, so that it will be preserved into that particular library feature, so that the same tolerance values or any PMI information, product manufacturing information, will be carried to the other segments also. Next is for the design attributes. The moment you create any part, you can assign the design attributes. What are the properties that you want to assign? You can assign that properties so that the same properties will be carried throughout the part life cycle. So let us see these enhancements here. First one is edge flange. As I said, while creating edge flange, we usually select the edges and we have to define the length with that value, like some dimension value. But from SolidWorks 2025 onwards, you have the option like up to vertex end condition. So with that end condition, if you select that vertex, it will stick to that up to vertex. If you make any changes in that sketches also, the changes will be reflected for the edge flange dimension side also. So next, enhancement with the library feature. Here we have the whole feature. So with this whole, I want to save as a library feature. I want to use it in multiple parts so that I can save this as a library feature. The moment you saving this feature, we can include these MBD dimensions also in the library feature. So the advantage over here is if you apply the same library feature into the another part, maybe in another design. So along with this feature, the MBD dimension is also will be carried, so that what are the tolerance values that you are maintaining. So the same tolerance values and what are the product manufacturing information we are carrying, the same information will be carried throughout throughout any design. So next enhancement is for the attributes creation. So if you work on the 3D experience SolidWorks or SolidWorks with connected, if you the moment you're creating any part new file in the SolidWorks, you can assign the properties like description, make or buy or finish. You can assign the some of the attributes. These attributes also customizable. You can refer what are the attributes that you required. So you can add these attributes in the design starting stage itself, so that it will carry throughout the throughout your design life cycle, and this can be captured in your custom properties as well as the drawing title block also. And let us see other enhancements in the part in 2025. And first one is a pin. Next one is a pin commands. So a pin command for the fillet and chamfer. So if you want to apply any multiple fillets with a different radius, so what we have to do, we have to select the multiple time fillet command multiple times. But from SolidWorks 2025 onwards, you can use this pin command option. So the pin command option is give the flexibility to act to the command even the one particular operation is finished, so that you no need to select multiple times. Next option is for the convert rectangle to sketch. So previously if you want to draw a square rectangle to square, so previously if you want to draw a square, we have to draw the rectangle and we have to give us relations like all sides are equal and dimension relation. But from SolidWorks 2025 onwards, you can use the hold shift key while drawing the rectangle. It will automatically convert to square command. Next, supporting a multi-language. So if you are working on the different part on the different country, if you got the part from the different country, if they're using any different language in the design tables, so you can't identify what is the which property they are referring for. But from SolidWorks 2025 onwards, you can use translation. So you can translate the language, whatever the language they are using, the language you can translate to your preferred language, so that all the properties you can easily analyze. So let us see these enhancements. Here in this part, I want to add a fillet and chamfer command. So for the multiple edges and with the multiple radius, here I can use the pin command, so that the command is lively activated and until you finish. So here I'm going to apply the fillet for the one particular edge with one radius, and the command is active. See, when I can change my dimension, I can select the other edges, I can apply the fillet on the go. Similar application is for the chamfer also. So here I can use the pin command for chamfer. I can select the one particular edge for the different dimensions. I can apply the chamfer. The command is active, and then again I can add another command until I click finish. The command is active. So no need to select the multiple times for adding a multiple fillets and multiple chamfers. Next update is for the converting rectangle to sketch. Previously, if you want to draw any square, we have to draw the rectangle and we have to give the relations. All sides are equal like that. But from SolidWorks 2025 onwards, while applying rectangle, you can hold the shift key. It automatically convert to square. Then you no need to apply all the relations. With one dimension, you can define your sketch and you can draw whatever the designs that you required for the square command. And next update is for the multi-language support. So here this part we got from the different different country, and if you can see, this part is came from the French. Even if I check the design tables, you can see the language. I can't understand what property is referring for. But from SolidWorks 2025 onwards, what we can do, so while editing the design table itself, it will ask to translate to our preferred language, so that we can select that language. So SolidWorks automatically convert to that language, and I can easily identify which property they are referring for, and I can take the design decisions very quickly. So these are the enhancements in the part. With these enhancements, we can enhance your designing and production capabilities very easily. So now let us move on to the enhancements in the assemblies. Now let us start with what are the enhancements in SolidWorks 2026. The first enhancement is for the cosmetic change indicator. So while you are working on a part and assembly, if you have made any cosmetic changes means the operations which was not affecting the original application. If you made any cosmetic changes, you no need to save the part again and again in the assembly level. So it won't ask to save the parts again and again, assembly again and again for the cosmetic changes. Next enhancement is for the display state side. So display state display states we can organize very effectively by using the design tables. So now SolidWorks 2026 supports the tables for the design states also. Next update is for the fasteners automation. This is like AI recognized fasteners. So previously, if you have any customized toolbox library, so what we have to do, we have to create a mate references, then only while dragging and dropping it will fix to the certain position. But SolidWorks 2026 introduced some AI flexibility for the for this kind of fasteners. So while we apply any mates for that particular fastener, that mates is going to be preserved to that component. So without any mate references, if you already apply that mates in the particular area, you can simply drag and drop. The same mates will be applicable to the another part, another side also. So like that, SolidWorks with AI recognized options, SolidWorks preserve the mates of the certain components, and it will copy the same mates to the other parts also. So these are the new enhancements we have in the SolidWorks 2026. Let us see these new enhancements in the hands-on session.
So these are the, let's see the new assembly features, that updates that we got. So for that, I'm just opening this assembly. So the first update that we got in assembly is cosmetic features. So if we change anything that to the appearance, it does not ask for the cosmetic change. So to explain that, I'm just opening a part. I'm just opening this part here. Here, if you see, we can adjust here it. I'm just trying to adjust it to make you understand very clearly. So here, if I just change any cosmetic change means anything that does not affect the functionality of the existing assembly. So here I'm just selecting this plane and I'm just trying to copy and create another reference geometry. So if I just create a reference geometry, previously if you create anything in some part, it will ask for saving time. It will ask saving a time, but now it does not ask a saving time. So this is the enhancement that we got, even not only for creating a plane, but now we can just delete it, or we can delete any geometry planes. That's how by after coming back to the assembly portion also, here we did not get any saving time. So it does not ask for any small changes. For small changes also, previously we used to ask saving time, but now it does not ask for saving. So I'm just going for appearance also. I'm adding decals. So I'm just going with the in decals, I'm just adding a warning. I'm just trying to add a warning. So here I'm trying to add this warning decal on this part. Here, if you just observe here in the assembly portion, if you just observe here, the decal is applied, but it does not ask for the saving. So this is how the cosmetic changes update will work in SolidWorks. Now let's go to the another update that we got in SolidWorks is that is design tables. Previously, we don't have in previous versions, we don't have design table. This design tables was not there in previous version. In 2026, we have this design table. I'm just trying to open it. This is more flexible and you can adjust in such a way that you can just adjust it. And even if you want to add any, if certain part has any reference display state, we can just manually enter it. By just clicking on OK, we can just add it for another part also. Like this, we can add the display state for the different properties. Even for the second part also, I'm trying to add the reference display state. By clicking on apply, we can just add the reference. Even if we click here, we can just apply the whatever the colors or whatever the things that we can have. This is the great enhancement that we got from the 2076. The design table has itself. So I'm just closing it. I'm just going for another update that we got is configuration table. We already know what is the configuration table, but in 2026, we have flexibility to delete whatever the configuration directly from here, even by selecting a component. I'm just trying to double click here. I'm just trying to create double clicking it. Here, if you just observe, here we have the part configuration has directly added to the table. This is a great advantage enhancement that we got in 2026. So even I can just from here itself, I can just suppress directly by just clicking on suppress and I'm just applying it. So you can see that the component is suppressed. Now I'm just unpicking it. So we can just manage this configuration table previously in previous version, if you want to do any configurations or if you want to add, if you want to delete any configurations, we used to go back to the parts, which will cause us, we have to check the part and it will take a lot of time. But this update in this configuration will help us to reduce the time, and it is a great enhancement. Even we can delete, if you want to delete this fixed one, we can just directly delete it, or otherwise we want to delete the configuration for complete part, we can directly delete it. This is how flexible this configuration table will work. Now let's go to the third updates. I'm just going to the predefined view in hardware view. Here, if you just observe AI via AI fastness, by just clicking on a control and making it here, you can see automatically the fastener is located even without the any mates because of the AI interface. So I'm just opening here this part to make you clear, to explain you very clearly. Here we have opened this part. Here this part does not contain any mate references, right? Here I'm just closing this part and I'm just going back. Even if I try to bold, place a bolt, you can just see I'm just taking it over it. It just directly placed it. This is a great enhancement with the help of AI. SolidWorks enhance the features. This is how it will work, and this is the great enhancement that we got in assemblies.
That's the great enhancements with the SolidWorks 2026 is including AI features. So you no need to apply mates for all mate references for all the components. So what are the mates that already applied in the previously? So that mates got preserved in that component, and the same mates can be used in the different areas by using simply drag and drop. So these are the good one of the good enhancements in the AI side. So SolidWorks is now moving to now including AI capabilities also. So in the next versions, it may include further more AI capabilities. So now let us look back to SolidWorks 2025. Let us see what are the enhancements in the assembly side. The enhancement in the SolidWorks 2025 assemblies are disable auto resolve components. So here, if you open any assembly in the lightweight feature, if you expand any subassembly or component, it is automatically set to resolve. So even if you want to do for the small verification also, it will take that time. So but from SolidWorks 2025 onwards, you can eliminate this portion by deactivating the auto resolve lightweight components option. So with that option, so it will give the flexibility to does not load the all even if it is expansion also, it won't load to set to resolve. So it will saves a lot of time for the assembly side, for loading the assemblies, for working on the assemblies. So the assembly performance will greatly increase with this advanced option. So the altogether with the SolidWorks assemblies enhancements will brings you the greater flexibility, and it will greatly saves your time and for regarding performance side as well as the designing side. So now let us move on to the drawings. Let us see what are the new enhancements in drawing. So as I already told, SolidWorks 2026 has so many AI capabilities. So one of the capabilities auto generation drawings. So even if you have any part, if you want to make this if you want to utilize this auto generation drawing, so you have to have the 3D experience or 3D experience connection. So with that connection, so SolidWorks by using AI technology, it will generate the it will generate the automatic drawings. It will include views, the section views, detail views, and also dimensions. Even if it is an assembly, it will include the BOM, BOQ information. So all the information will be generated automatically. So by using the so it will take the some basic standards, and it will give the complete drawings for all the basic views. Next enhancement with the magnetic lines. So we all know magnetic lines is helpful to organize the balloons, but from SolidWorks 2026 onwards, the magnetic lines is not only limited to the balloons, it is also, we can use it for the nodes, weld symbols, surface symbols, GDNT symbols everywhere. So it will easy to organize our complete drawing, and it will the drawing look will be very good. So next enhancement with the break dimension line. So previously from 2025 until 2025, we can use these break lines up to for the dimension lines only. So if the any dimension is crossed to the another dimension, we can use this break dimension so that the production team can easily identify which dimension is referring for. But from SolidWorks 2026 onwards, this break lines is not only limited to the dimension lines, it is also extended to the dimension text also. If any line is crossed to the dimension existing dimension text, so the break lines will applied there, and it will easy to identify so where the dimension is referring. And let us move on to the next enhancements in the drawings. So for GD&T symbols. So previously GD&T symbols, after profile, we have to define the numerical value like tolerance value. But from SolidWorks 2026 onwards, so it is also supported for the letters. We can define with the letters also. So that we can add a custom text in the bottom so that it can easily give our standards to the production team. Next update is for the surface finish indicators from SolidWorks 2026 onwards. So surface finish symbols also supports the ISO 21920-1 profile standards also, so that we can easily communicate the current available standards in the drawings. So let us see these enhancements in the live hands-on session.
So let's go for the auto-generated drawings. It is a great update that we got in 2026. To open that, I'm just going with opening this component. Here, if you just observe, the first update that we got in drawings is auto-generated drawings. We have to make sure that we should have a 3D experience cloud platform to create a auto-generated drawings. Here, I'm just selecting this component. I'm just right-clicking it here. Just within a one click, we can create a auto-generated drawing. Here we can click OK. If you want to change any name, you can keep whatever the name you want here. Here I'm just clicking, just 2 clicks away, I'm just creating. Here I'm just creating a auto-generated drawing. Here, if you just observe, we can add multiple components and create a multiple drawings here. Here the status indicate it was just loading. So it was creating a auto-generated drawing. In between, you can just work whatever the work you want. You doesn't need to wait for until the drawing has been created. It saves a lot of your time. So once it's completed, you can just see here, you can see the progress of the drawing. Here it is a title of the drawing. This is now if you see the status is ticked, that means your drawing was created. Here I'm just by clicking on open the drawing, I'm just opening the drawing. See how efficiently we got the drawing, automated drawing. See, this is a great enhancement by the SolidWorks. You can just see, you can within 2 steps we created a drawing here. So you can adjust, minimal adjustments is required when in your way. You can just adjust it. If you want to, even with the help of AI, some geometry tolerance also there. Even BOM is also created here. You can adjust when in whichever way you want. You can just move. You can move the views also. You can adjust in such a way that you want. So this is a great enhancement that we got by the SolidWorks. Even within the 2 steps, we can create a drawing. That is about auto-generated drawings. Now let's move on to another update that we got is magnetic lines annotation. For that, I'm just opening another drawing sheet. This is the sheet that we got. Here previously in previous versions, the magnetic lines is only used in auto balloons, right? In previous version, this is only does not use for the annotation. It is only used for only balloons. For some annotations like this text or annotations, it was not for all annotations. It is not applicable. It is applicable only for the magnetic lines is only applicable for balloons. So here I'm just going for magnetic lines. So now with the help of 2026 updates, here by selecting all we can just select annotations, datums or indicators, whatever the annotations that we have. This magnetic lines is applicable for all the kinds of. We can just manually adjust it. Even if you want to adjust it, you can just adjust it in such a way. In this way. So this this update helps us to it is not only for balloons, but it is also applicable for all the annotations that was there. Even from the existing, we can just by just dragging it, dropping it to near to the some other annotations, you can just adjust it. This is how you can use the annotations. This is a great enhancement that we got in magnetic. So now let's go to another update, that is break dimensions. So to open the break dimension, I'm just opening another drawing. Here, if you just see, So we already know how to create a break dimension. So we already know how to create a break dimension, right? By clicking on this and controlling here, by right clicking here, we can just create a break dimension. So it is this break dimension is applied for the line dimension lines. So which helps us manufacturer to understand for what element the dimension is placed. But now for I'm just for make you a better understanding, I'm just selecting these three dimensions which was there in a blue color, and I'm just trying to add a dimension break. So in previous version, the dimension break is only applied for the dimension lines. But now if you just observe here, the dimension break is for text also. Even for the text, you can just move it for wherever you can just move. The dimension break is automatically applied. This is how we can use. Even I'm just adding a new dimension for existing break dimension. So here I'm trying to add the dimension. So if you go here, you might get one doubt. So this dimension already got break dimension, but here it was not indicating. So now let's in this conditions, we have to do what we have to do is just we have to update our break dimension so that it will apply to new dimensions also. This is how the break dimension will work. So this is about the break dimension. Now let's see geometric another update that is called custom text cloud. Previously in this geometric tolerance, we doesn't have. Here we need to enter only tolerance value. It does not allow us to enter the symbols or not alphabets. But from now you can just enter whatever the value you want, or letters or symbols, whatever you want. I'm just indicating it with T, which previously was not there. But here I'm indicating T. That means tolerance, and I'm adding a datum. I'm just going with the datum A, and I'm creating one more datum B. I'm just adding one more datum like C. This is how flexible this work, and I'm just created three datums with respect to the. And if you just click on this bottom previously, which was not there, here we'll get a few options like frame below. With the help of this frame below, you can just enter the text whatever you want, or copy a text you can note. Like this, we can enter the text. I'm just going with ANSI 1060, and that means tolerance is equal to certain value like 0.020. This is how I am trying to enter. So this is the enhancement that we got in 2026. Like this, directly we can add the text, and we can add we can include the symbols, letters in the range field. So, and next let us go for the another update. So another update, that is surface. In surfaces, we got new standard. So to enable that standard, we have to go for the options. In options, we have to document properties. Here we'll find the annotations, right? In annotations, surface finishes have a different standard. Previously, we used to have these two standards, but now 2026 enables the standard, this ISO 219201. This is a new standard that we SolidWorks provides added in the drawings. So if you just look here, I'm just going for the surface finish here. So this is the indicator, the symbols which indicate this is a new standard symbols and new standard. Here I'm just trying to add a tolerance, a parallel indicator, and I'm indicating it with datum B. With respect to datum B, I'm creating a parallel indicator. So here simply I have to just place it over here. This is how we can use the new ISO standard in drawing sheets. This is the updates that we got in drawings.
So that's a great enhancements in the drawings. It will definitely improve our production time. We can deliver our drawings even more faster. So especially with the AI generated drawings, it will almost saves our time to generate the basic views and the basic views and the tables that we regularly generate. So now let us look back to 2025. Let us see what are the new enhancements that we have released in the functional schedules. So first one is a flattened BOM. So normally in SolidWorks, we all know we have three types of BOM. First one parts only, second one is top level, third one is intended. But from SolidWorks 2025 onwards, we have one more BOM like flattened BOM. So this is like a extension of your intended BOM. So normally intended BOM, we got a parent and child kind of thing. But from SolidWorks 2026, 2025 onwards, so even you can create a subassembly with another parts also in a sequence, in a single sequence. Even the quantity also it will match to the original quantity of our parts. Next one is next update is for the BOM filtering with respect to display states. So now generally we'll create a display states for to understand, to communicate our designs more greater way to our production or production team. So proper from even if you create a different display states for generating BOM for the different display states, so it won't happen previously. But from SolidWorks 2025 onwards, so based on the display state, BOM will going to be filtered, and you can generate the BOM and it will give the components which are present in the display state only. Next one is a family table. So this is the one more additional table that we can create as like a BOM cut list. So this is the one more additional table that we create. So this table is helpful for the configuration data. For example, if you have a create any part with the different configurations with the by mentioning the different dimensions and other parameters. So instead of creating a multiple sheets for the individual parts, so we can create a one drawing and we can create that family table. How many configurations are there and what are the variants that we have? How many dimensions changes we have we made? So all this we can create that configuration table within a one click. So no need to generate a multiple drawings for the individual parts. And one more enhancement is cut list table inclusion. So from SolidWorks 2025 onwards, we can match the document units to the cut list units also. So that for it is easy to communicate the same parameters in the cut list table. Next one is a display expressions. So while creating sheets, we usually like link the properties to the different tabs, like drawn by, sketched by, like that. So if you want to verify which tab is linked to the which property, we have to go to edit sheet format and we have to verify. But from SolidWorks 2025 onwards, it will give you a great flexibility to check the which expression has been linked to the which tab, so that we can easily identify, and we can, if you want to make change, we can make the change very easily. So let us see these enhancements here. So first one is a flattened BOM. As I told, this is a intended BOM. So here we have a parent and child. We come step by step, but with the flatten, so you can see the sequence. It will follow the complete sequence in the on the go, and the quantity also it will match as per the existing designs. So next is the display state BOM filtering. Here we have used different display states. So based on the display state, I want to generate the BOM. But previously, if you want to generate BOM for this display state, it won't happen. But from SolidWorks 2025 onwards, so we can link the BOM to the display states. So we can link the BOM to the display state. We can select whichever display state you are looking for, and then if you click OK, it will generate the BOM based on the display state only. It won't give the other parts. Even balloons and everything is also we can provide as per your BOM only. So next enhancement is for the family tables. Here we have a one part. So in this part, we have a multiple configurations with the changing of dimension, length and diameter. If you want to create a drawings for everything, we have to generate a multiple drawings. But from SolidWorks 2025 onwards, so for one drawing we can create, and after that we can create the family table. So in this family table, what are the changes that we made for the each configuration? So it will give the information for all the configuration, and what are the changes that we made for the each configuration. So you no need to create a multiple drawings sheets for the individual parts. So it will save you a lot of our time and efforts for creating a multiple drawing sheets. Next option is for the cut list document units. Here, if you see the cut list side, the cut list properties description and the dimension unit length does not match. So if you want to maintain the same units for the cut list properties also, so that we have to check with the document properties field domains. Here we have to apply document setting cut list. So the moment if you add this tab, so you can check the cut list items, how greatly it matches to the unit system, greatly matches to our current document unit system. So it is easy to communicate the description of the cut list table with the same unit systems. And next, for the display expressions. So here in this sheet, we have a different title blocks, and different title block was linked to the different properties. So even if you want to check these properties, previously we have to go to edit sheet format and we have to check. But from SolidWorks 2025 onwards, we can use this anode text expression. So it will easily address which tab is linked to the which expression. Even this expression is applicable for the mouse gestures also, so that we can easily identify which tab is linked to the which property, so that we can easily, if you want to make changes, we can make the changes. We can make the changes very easily. Next, so these are the enhancements in the drawings. With these enhancements, we can definitely improve your production. Like we can deliver your projects to the production. You can greatly reduce your drawing and documentation time. Now let us move on the next enhancements in routing. So the enhancements in routing is improved covering section in piping and tubing. So previously, if you want to apply a covering, so coverings is generally used for the insulation purpose. So if you want to apply any if you want to assign a properties or material properties to the covering, we have to select edit route and we have to select the properties. But if you want to preserve that properties again and again, these are the properties if you regularly use, if you want to preserve that, so we don't have an option previously. But from SolidWorks 2026 onwards, you can save that properties as a favorites, so that for any design you can use that favorites. So no need to apply the you don't need to apply all the parameters again and again. You can use that property. You can use the covering properties in the save the covering properties in the favorites, so that you can apply for the different multiple designs very easily. Next option is sketch guided auto route. So during auto route, we have to define the path, but previously we don't have an option to sketch guided option, so that if you have the already predefined sketch, we can select very easily that sketch, and you can draw the route without any interference and collision detection. Next option is for the switch templates in flatten drawing. So the moment if you generate the flatten drawing for your routings, if you want to shuffle your, if you shuffle your sheet parameters from A0 to A1, A1 to A2 like that, the view orientation, what are the view scale, that won't change. It was fixed. But from SolidWorks 2026 onwards, the moment you change your sheet property from A0 to A1 and any other property based on the sheet, the scaling will automatically adjust and it fit into that particular sheet only. So let us see these enhancements in the piping and tubing side.
So this enhancement helps us to create a covering, and this enhancement helps us to create a favorite. So now let's see how to create a route with the covers. So here I'm just trying to edit a route, and I'm just going for covering here, and I'm just selecting the material for this. I'm just going with the silicone material and I'm applying silicone material. And after that, I'm just trying to add one more material that is for the covering. I'm just going with the carbon fibers here. I'm just selecting it and applying it. We have to make sure that we have to apply at the bottom. And after that, I'm just selecting all the routes there. And I'm just adding a name. This is a great update that we got. We can just rename the property name. This is a favorite. We can just favorite a name, and we can just create a exit from the sketch. This is how the cover is created. Now we can now I'm just applying a edit cover to the back side tubes also. Here now I will not create add or any material. Here I'll just keep my previous favorite name. So like this, I can create once if I create a favorite, we can use whenever we want. This is the update that we got in routing. First update that we got in routing. Now let's move on to the other sketch guided auto route. The sketch guided auto route, we have to insert a component, and if we have any sketch, the follow in SolidWorks 2022, we just got a follow path option. So if we just click on the follow path option, we can just generate a route, auto route without any interactions. Now let's see how to create an auto route. So firstly, I'm just inserting a part. I'm just starting from here. I'm just going and trying to open it. So here, if you just observe, I'm just trying to open the part which was there here. I'm just opening and just automatically visit. Even previously I explained auto recognition. Even here also that is applicable, and that's how it auto. Here, if you just follow at the bottom of the here, the follow path is there. So by just clicking on the follow path route, which was no invention, I'm just selecting the follow route and I'm going for the convert guidelines. I'm just selecting these two splines. Even if within these 2 clicks, this is how the auto route is created. Even you can see at the bottom, till the sketch where it is, the auto route is created till there, even without any interaction. This is a great enhancement that we got in routing. Let's go for the third enhancement, that is sheet formats. In previous days, if you want to, if you just change the property or if you change the sheet format, the drawing view will not be changed. It will not adjust. But in new, the views, tables, annotations will automatically adjust. Now let's see how it will work. So I'm trying to change the properties here. I'm just going with the certain A sheet, like A ANSI landscape. I'm just applying the ANS here. So if you just, the drawing view is automatically adjusted. Previously, it was not like that. We have to scale everything. So now I'm just going for another option like C ANSI landscape. If I just try to apply this also, the views are automatically adjusted as per the sheet. So I'm just going for the A2. And I'm just trying to apply A2. So the annotations, everything is automatically applying. So previously, if you want to do this, we have to, after changing the sheet format, we have to apply scaling to the view and it will take a lot of time. But now with this generation, this is update, we can just, it is automatically the drawing views and VOMs, annotations, everything automatically selected. This is the update that we got from routing.
So now let's come to the last portion of the what's new enhancements in the UX and import side. So let us see what are the new enhancements in UX and import. The first update that we can say, this is the one of the great update the customers who work on the imported geometry. So generally, if you want to import any complex geometry, it will that will take a lot of time to load that body. So until unless it loaded to our assembly, so we can't do anything in the SolidWorks. We have to leave the SolidWorks as it is. But from SolidWorks 2026 onwards, this complete portion will be eliminated. There is no need to wait, no need of any waiting time for your imported geometry. So everything will be taken care by in the background itself. We have an option to set your imported geometry in a background. So until unless the imported geometry loaded completely, so you can start doing your regular works. You can do all the changes, everything. Once your imported model is completed, you can use it that model into your designs. So I know this is the one of the great this is the one of the most liking feature in 2026. Most of the designers also will agree for that. Why? Because everyone will everyone will lose a lot of time for importing your import geometry into the SolidWorks. And next enhancement is for the selection filters. So from SolidWorks 2026 onwards, selection filters is also greatly updated. So you can filter your components based on the components assemblies wise, even features wise. So you can filter the components so that you can make the changes, whatever the changes you require, you can make the changes very easily based on that filters. Next option is for the selecting large number of bodies by size and volume. So previously, if you want to select any component, we have to choose toolbox components or to select internal components like that we have to choose. But from SolidWorks 2026 onwards, you can use slider for selecting the bodies by the size, like 5% bigger than that, 6% bigger than that. So like that you can use that slider. Based on that slider, SolidWorks automatically select all the components. You can, if you want to hide, if you want to create some different view, so you can use that. Similarly for the volume side also, even for the volume side also, you can select very easily. And next update here is we can display the dismissed message in the status bar itself. No need to go in the settings and check what are the messages we have dismissed. You no need to do all the options even in the status bar itself. You can check that option. You can do you can check what are the messages you have dismissed. And also one more advanced capability in SolidWorks 2026 is the rebuild performance got increased by 30%. So even if you work on any complex objects, if you done any rebuild, so from comparatively from 25 to 2026, the rebuild performance was greatly enhanced, so that you can save a lot of your saving time, rebuild time, and this ultimately saves your like design large assemblies handling side. It ultimately saves you a lot of your designing time itself. So let us see these enhancements here. So let us start with the background import.
So as of now, we got to know that the background import has a great enhancement that we got in this year. Just previously, if you want to import any items, it will take a lot of time, and we have to wait. We have to keep postponing other work, so it will take a lot of time. But now in new enhancement, just by clicking on one option, if you just observe here, I'm trying to going here import a model. By clicking on the import model, here we can by clicking on the add, we can add multiple models. We can just import it, and it will just run as a background. In background it will run, and we can open the file whenever we want. But we should not, we doesn't need to wait at doesn't need to wait. So this is how the import model will help us in this enhancement. So import model is a great enhancement that we got in this year. We doesn't need to wait. We can just we can just import a model, and we can do whatever the work we want. It is run as a background runner. So now let's go for the another update, that is filtering components. So to make you that clear, just wait a minute. I'm just opening the part to make it more clear. Here I'm just opening this assembly. So the first enhancement that we got in this here UXI is filtering component. Here previously we used to have filter faces, filter bodies, and filter surface. But here in this 2026 update, we got filter features and here filter components. Now let's see how this works. I'm just trying to copy this appearance. I'm trying to copy by right clicking it here. I'm trying to copy this appearance. So I want to apply this appearance to this complete joystick. So if you just try to move here, it is not capable for that. So by toggling its filter components, if I just try to place the cursor here, see how clearly we can just find a component with this option. By toggling on the filter components, it was easily filtering a single component. By using control, I'm just selecting another joystick also. By just right clicking here, I can paste the appearance. So this is how the filter components use. We can filter whatever the components when this feature is on. So I'm just toggling off this filter component, and to explain another feature, that is filter features. To explain that, I'm just opening this part which was there in this assembly. So filter features, by the name itself, we can say we can know that filtering a feature. So by toggling on this filter features option at the bottom, you can just see I'm just not selecting complete the fillet. I'm just trying to select only one side of the fillet, but the whole fillet is selecting. The reason for that, filtering a features. If you just select one edge of the fillet, the complete fillets will be shown and helpful. Whenever we want to deal with all the fillets or something related to the features, we can use this fillet feature option. Otherwise, I'm just going to the simple boss extrude. Here in this feature manager, you can see only single body is selected. But now, with the help of this filter feature, we can select all the boss extrude with respect to that. So this is how, by the name itself, I'm saying clearly, filtering a feature. With one feature is associated with another, the filtering features will be more easy. So I'm just jumping back to the assembly again. So here, if you just observe, I'm trying to open this component. Here inside, we have this subassembly. I'm just trying to open this subassembly to explain another component, like how to remove all the component. It was taking a little bit. So here the subassembly is open. Firstly, I'm just coming to evaluate, and I'm doing a performance evaluation. If you just observe here in graphic tangent count, there is a lot of count phases and there is a lot of unnecessary phases. But this much I don't want to work on it. I want to remove some of the unnecessary parts. So it will take a lot of loading time. So that's why I want to remove some of the components or some of the triangle count, and I want to reduce the face count. So for that, I am just selecting here in the, by right clicking in the graphic area, we'll get a drop down. Here we have a new options like select by body. In here itself, in graphic, in this enhancement here itself, by selecting a body by size, I'm just selecting body by size, and I'm applying 5%. Whatever the bodies that have a 5% of size will select it. Here, if you just observe, the screws, the fasteners which has 5% of the size is automatically selected. So by clicking on delete on keyboard, the bodies which have 5% size, we can automatically delete it. Whenever we want to delete with the respect to the size, we can delete it easily. This is a great enhancement that we got. And now I'm just going for the control one, and I'm just trying to hide this component. So here I want to add, here we have seen select body by size, but now let's see select body by volume. We all know how to create a body by volume. I'm just selecting this here. I'm trying to create a rectangle here. So here you have with the help of this indicators, you can select it. So if you observe here, whatever that is present in this complete volume, we can delete it. So if you just observe, the nuts bolts are there in this was there in the volume. By just clicking on OK, and by just clicking on delete in the keyboard, delete all. So this is how we can delete the unnecessary faces. So by I'm just unhiding the component. So here again, I am doing the performance evaluation here. If you just observe here, the graphical count is reduced by 70% and the face count is reduced by 60% approx. So whenever we want to hide something or delete something, this is a select by body, select by tool is a helpful for to do this process. So this is the updates that we got in UX and UI, which helps us. This is a great enhancement that we got.
So next enhancement is for the display dismissed messages, as we already told. So the dismissed messages now indicated in the status bar. So no need to go to the systems options, settings options like that. So instead of that, you can directly check what are the messages that you have dismissed in the status bar. Even if you want to keep it or avoid it, you can use it from the settings. So next is for the rebuild performance. As I told, SolidWorks 2026 was greatly enhanced in the rebuild performance side. So when compared to 2025, it was greatly enhanced up to 30%. So you no need to wait long time to rebuild your assemblies in 2026. So you can save your lot of operational time and saving time. So it ultimately saves your production, your design time, design time. So now let us go to the other enhancements is for the 3D experience side. So if you have any if you are using 3D experience SolidWorks, if any unplanned maintenance or unplanned shutdowns ever happen, so you no need to work unless the problem got resolved. So you can use your SolidWorks in the offline mode without, even though if you are not making a work offline condition also, you can use the SolidWorks as an unplanned offline mode. So you can you can't sacrifice your working hours. You can work with SolidWorks as it is. So once the complete maintenance and everything is done, so you can start your regularly use your collaboration and all these things. But designing portion won't stop even if it is a unplanned maintenance and unplanned unplanned shortage, like server down, unplanned server down happens. So with this help, with this advantage, so no need to stop your designing side. So these are the enhancements for the SolidWorks 2026 in part assemblies, drawings, and routing.